You're listening to Tales of the Forsaken, an actual play podcast by Noble Jester Productions.
Okay, so Oule is standing here. Not standing. I think I would say he kind of got knocked down a little bit. Kor comes in and lands. He knows, hey, it's okay. We can end this now. So I feel like it's a good time to turn the tide because I don't have initiative. I need to get it back to be able to hopefully move some more on the progress track and end this.
I like it.
Okay.
So with Turn the Tide, you're stealing initiative from your foe. So you can add a +1 on your next movement, and you get to take a +1 momentum if you hit.
So what am I actually rolling, though?
You're not rolling. Well, you will roll for your next move. Essentially, you're
I'm
stealing
adding
initiative.
It's like a modifier on another
so
move?
Essentially, now you have the initiative. You can do a strike instead of a clash.
Got it. Okay, but then if I fail to score a hit, then I have a dire outcome and pay the price.
Correct. It's going to make your pay the price, a lot worse.
It's kind of amplifying things to do that.
Yep.
Okay. So then I could...
So you can do a strike instead of a clash if you want to, go for the attack.
Yeah, well, let's do that.
Okay, so you'll get a +1 on this roll.
Okay. That is great. Rolled, so that'd be 9 total. Surpasses the other 2 dice. So yeah, that is a strong hit.
All right, so you get a strong hit. You inflict 3 harm. You keep your initiative.
And I get a momentum.
You get a momentum. So you're now up to an 8 on this track.
And I've got a 9 momentum, so...
You can't use momentum on trying to end the fight.
Oh, okay.
But this might be a good moment to try to end the fight because you've just scored a strong hit.
Okay. Yeah. Let's try to do that. But okay, if I miss, though, I lose the fight. But if I lose the fight, it's to the death, I'm dead. So I don't like rolling on it. Isn't that true, though? It's to the death.
Not necessarily. I don't know.
I mean, I don't want to die. I'm saying, but that's really clear.
That is the boast that you made.
Yeah,
that's correct.
I'm trying to keep true to it. Unless something happens that would intervene. Obviously, Kor is there. He could do something that would be, for the culture dishonorable, but...
True. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you. You don't have to end it with an 8. You can...
All right, I'm on a roll. I'm not going to end it yet. I'm gonna get that progress track up to give me the best chance. So...
All right, so you turned the tide. He had, raked his axe down your shoulder. How do you... narrate this strike for us.
Yeah, so he kind of got a little cocky with that hit. I kind of stumble, but seeing Kor come in, I get that hope. So then I kind of yell, come up, and slam him with the shield, push him back, and then swing this massive sword overhead and catches across his thigh and gets him a pretty good hit. And then I'm gonna keep that momentum and go into strike again.
All right.
Alright, and that is not a great roll. That would be a weak hit.
Okay.
So I would inflict harm and lose initiative. But you know what? I feel like it's worth it to burn my momentum for this.
Okay.
So I'm going to use my momentum, burn that, and turn that into a strong hit.
Okay. Well, that fills up the progress track, so no better time than now to end the fight.
Yeah, so I come in with another strike, and I'm going to try to end this guy. Okay. Whew.
All right, so roll just the challenge dice, not the d6.
Okay.
And compare it to a 10.
So I basically just need to get not any 10s.
Correct.
Roll 1 and a 7.
All right.
Yes.
So that's a strong hit. You killed him. You need to kill him because that's what the boast was. So, yeah. How do you kill Kaldis?
Yeah, so I'm kind of stringing these moves together in my mind. So I had gotten hit with his axe. I got knocked down like I had said. I see you land. I come up, do this move with hitting the shield, knocking him back, swinging the sword around, caught his leg, kind of stuns him. I just kind of sling the shield with my arm back around my back, and I've got now both hands on my sword, keeping the momentum of it coming around, and just keep a full 360, and then boom, just lop off his head.
Okay. Epic.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't really set any sort of oh, if I win this, you all have to go away, So I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. But this army has now lost two
Both
leaders
yep.
in the space of a day. You have Kor now here, who supposedly went to go get help. I feel like in this moment, it almost makes sense to capitalize on this and just charge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hope and expect that the people of Fox Hollow and whatever help Kor brought in follows you in.
Absolutely. And I feel like this other army is going to be pretty hesitant because, like you said, they've had infighting. 2 leaders have now died. There's people showing up that they didn't expect. I think they would... There's a chance. I feel like they would just try to flee.
Yeah, I mean, I think you, especially if everybody follows you, that you can pretty easily break them.
Yeah, so after I've lopped off this guy's head, I sprout my wings again, and then raise up and point my sword towards the enemy as, all of our help starts charging from behind us towards them.
Yeah, Kor flies up into the air and he fires a pistol almost like it's in a signal, and the gates open behind you, and the people of Fox Hollow and a group of Bloody Spear warriors come rushing out behind you. I think just a battle roll in this case makes the most sense. You don't necessarily need to start a combat track or anything. I think just a battle roll. I think we should give you a +1 because of the bond.
Do we both roll for this battle roll?
I think you're leading the charge. You can just make the roll.
Okay. I just have no momentum. I just burned it all. You've got some. Just saying.
Well, if you want, I can... we could change this up and Kor could lead it.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay, how about this? Why don't you roll a secure an advantage that you are attempting, with what you've just done with this move, or of, fighting this duel and lopping his head off and then kind of trying to intimidate them. Why don't you roll a secure an advantage just to see if you can, gain an advantage for Kor, who's actually the one who is leading this charge because he's the one who went and got the allies and has set all this up while you were fighting.
I love that. Okay.
And you'd be rolling probably with aggressive action, so plus iron.
Yep. Solid 8. And the other 2 dice are 3 and a 4. So, strong hit.
Could have just done that as battle, but...
Well, I know.
I'm just kidding.
I know.
All right.
So you take control, make another move now, not a progress move, and add +1.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and roll the battle for Kor, taking that +1.
Yeah. Now this is going to be your fault. If I gave you that +1, you still don't make it.
Yeah. I think in this case, I'd be rolling plus heart.
Yeah.
Because we are, yes, trying to kind of, use Yindra and our status as marked, but really what we're relying on is the people of Fox Hollow.
Yeah.
So. Ooh. Alright. That's a weak hit.
Okay.
So you achieve your objective, but not without cost. Which I think makes sense. I think in this moment, yes, the Flame Tongue are going to be unorganized and, kind of working their way towards retreating. But they are still a larger army, and we're charging a, larger force. Fox Hollow's going to lose. They're going to lose good
heavy losses. Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think Fox Hollow would take a decent amount of losses in this, but eventually do fight them all.
Okay, cool.
Any other narration you want to do for that?
I don't think so. Just wrap this up with a nice bow.
Yeah, so it takes some time, but eventually the Flame Tongue retreat in kind of a mass of running away. Eventually you kind of broke their spirit, and the Fox Hollow attack drives them off. So we kind of recollect ourselves, and Kor would be kind of picking his way through the group, trying to use his herbalist skills and kind of helping to bind up wounds and try to help drag people back into the the safety of the town and stuff. What do you do?
I think just seeing what Kor is doing, he'd be going around and obviously not trying to heal anybody. He doesn't have that skill, but I think it'd just be like a encouragement thing and seeing what he can do coming in, just like putting hands on people and may Indra bless you. Indra bless you as he's going through.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think eventually we kind of get everything back together, and I think it'd be a good time for us to make that was it sojourn or whatever that we weren't able to do.
Yeah, a little detour.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say I feel like Indra's really missing out by not having us on main really helping her there.
I think we've seen that she has plenty of help there.
Yeah,
and doesn't really need the help.
No, yeah.
Plus, I mean, Verbodin's got it.
Yeah.
She just relies on him to do everything. So.
Pretty much. Sweet. Okay, so
we do need supplies.
We do need supplies.
I need a little bit of spirit. You need health.
Yep.
So maybe now that we've actually, helped them, we should resupply.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to roll that, or you want me to?
You can roll.
Okay. That's a miss.
Disappointed.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. I guess I need to pay the price for that. It's harmful. Okay. So we've been trying to help people. Eventually, we try to get those supplies that were on the cart, and one of those people that had been with Pemba, if they were hiding in the cart. And Kor goes over there, is trying to, gather the supplies that he needs, and this guy jumps out because Kor opens whatever box he was hiding in or whatever and slams the sword into Kor's side or something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take some damage here.
Okay.
I would guess that he quickly is taken out by, being in a town, so
right.
We don't really need to play that out. But Kor's injured, and we are not able to resupply. So I guess we can just do the sojourn if you want.
Yeah, I feel like that now makes sense. Okay. Do we already got experience for... I don't get experience for the whole, the battle or anything.
I mean, we didn't, in Ironsworn, you get experience for...
The vows, right?
The vows.
Yeah.
We got experience for, the vow that we had done of bringing those supplies back.
This was all kind of related to that vow, so...
Yeah, it was kind of the build-up of all the 4 rolls.
Yep, totally. Okay, so we're going to do the sojourn move.
Yeah, I'm not rolling this. You roll this.
I got this. I got this.
Plus a 1.
Yep. That's a miss.
All right, so we find no help here.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta pay the price.
That feels like paying the price.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just roll on this table. Let's see what happens.
Okay. It is a 49.
A new danger or foe is revealed.
Oh my gosh.
Here's an idea.
Okay.
We were trying to stay pretty low key with the whole marked thing.
Yeah.
Because we knew that there was already marked activity here.
Mm-hmm.
What if having now, revealed ourselves a lot,
Mm-hmm.
we suddenly see a group of marked flying towards Fox Hollow, or there's an alarm that goes up or something, and we gotta run. We don't have time to sojourn. We don't have time to do anything.
That actually makes a lot of sense of why we couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Whew, all right.
Time to go.
So an alarm goes up, and, somebody yells out, "Marked approaching!" And I think we would know.
Hey, yeah, we got a jit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Kor's like, "We have to go." I mean, I'm, bandaged probably, but bleeding still, from getting attacked. You're still injured, but we gotta run.
Yeah. I think in this situation we would be trying to fly out of here, right?
Yeah, probably staying low, trying to, because we're in kind of marshes, trying to kind of stay low and see if we can escape.
Well, since we've been towards the Flame Tongue clan, that's a little bit of area we know. We also have defeated their army. Maybe flying kind of that direction would be a safer place to hide.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is more wooded, so that would be easier to hide in. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's try to do that.
All right, let's do that. Maybe just a face danger,
Yeah.
Trying to get away here.
Yeah. So this is going to be a speed thing.
That's a weak hit.
Maybe just, we succeed, but I think enduring stress, being dispirited or afraid makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah. And is that just going to apply to both of us? Is that the easiest thing to do?
Probably.
Yeah.
Unless you want to roll separately. But I feel
like it makes sense with your role playing to us as a duo.
So endure stress. Gotta roll spirit or heart.
This is a little concerning because I'm at 3 health, 4 spirit, and now 2 supply, and only 2 on my momentum. I'm very depleted on resources.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to try to find a place to make camp.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we failed in sojourning here. But,
Yep.
Alright, so I'm enduring stress. Man, it's a weak hit. So just press on. Alright. So yeah, we escape. We probably fly, low through the trees for a while. We probably, if we're flying quickly, we probably would pass this, fleeing army. Are we just gonna go around them, go over their heads? Like, are we just gonna pass them by?
Yeah, I feel like we defeated them, we're trying to go as quickly as possible, and that's flying straight. So yeah, I would just fly over.
Okay. Yeah, so we fly over them, we leave. Eventually, we're going to have to find a place to make camp.
Was I supposed to roll this endure stress move?
You probably should.
Okay. I don't just automatically take the 1 hit to spirit, or it just depends on
You
what happens
do,
here?
and then you also roll,
okay.
because you can potentially get some positives from it.
Okay. I roll spirit or plus heart. Did you roll plus spirit on yours?
No, I rolled plus heart, which I guess I should have rolled plus spirit because it's higher.
Would it have made a difference?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you still got the weak hit.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to be rolling plus 4. So that's a 6. So I got also a weak hit, so no difference. Okay.
Yeah, so eventually we stop, and Kor's kind of breathing hard and tries to, rebind his wound. He says, "We've got to find a place to make camp. And hopefully we can find a place to hide."
Yeah. And, are you doing okay there? I saw you took a hit back there. What happened?
There was somebody hiding in the supplies.
Gosh, really unfortunate for you. Yeah, at least we made it out of there. What? Did you recognize any of those marked?
they didn't get close enough, but it wasn't just one. There were at least 4.
That's not good.
This is much bigger than we had feared.
Oh, Andrew, help us. Alright, so maybe we should, we gotta find a place to be able to hopefully find some supplies, or... Yeah, so which move would we look at here?
Well, we should probably try to forage or scavenge around to resupply, because otherwise our supply is pretty low when we make camp. But it depends. Maybe we should say we can't resupply because we're trying to stay hidden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can still try, because there's scavenging, so there could be stuff around.
Yeah.
I feel like with how bad the dice can be, why not have a good thing for us?
All right, yeah, let's try. Do you want to try, or you want me to?
I'll give it a shot.
All right.
Okay, so I'm rolling plus wits.
Yep.
Okay. That's a weak hit. So take up to 2 supply, but suffer -1 momentum for each. I feel like we should fully resupply. Or not fully, but take both of those.
Yeah. I don't mind taking the momentum loss if you want.
Yeah. Wouldn't we both do it since we're both? Oh no, really, it's a shared supply.
Yeah.
So
I think I can just take the momentum loss.
Yeah, that works. Okay.
Which kind of makes sense narratively if you're the one, actually moving around, scavenging, finding supply, Kor's kind of trying to keep watch, and, his momentum would be the one that would drop. So
okay.
All right, let's try to make camp.
Yeah.
So
go for it.
Roll
plus supply. Yeah.
Man, I just keep rolling those 9s. All right, well, that's a weak hit.
Okay.
So we can each choose one. Recuperate, partake, relax, focus, or prepare.
I feel like maybe recuperate, at least for one of us, because then it's good. We're each going to get a health back, correct? This is for you and any companions.
I think companions means NPC companions.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. So then I will probably do the same thing. Just recuperate.
Yeah, my health and spirit are both low, so I'm just going to recuperate as well. Health is probably more important in this moment, so...
Well, if we've felt safe enough to make a camp, are we continuing to head the same direction, or what's our plan now?
Well, we had started to, really get some momentum with the Bloody Spear clan, but I feel like with either we could actually go to wherever the Flame Tongue, capital city is, and try to really capitalize on the fact that we've defeated their army. They have no tribal leader, and try to really take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Or we could go for Hard Rock and, kind of the Great Heart clan and try to build up some allies and actually try to figure out what's going on with the Marked. We were originally supposed to be going to Hard Rock.
Yeah. I'm wondering with the situation of what's just happened if your first option feels better, because with these Marked now coming in, I don't know if we can necessarily safely go back with the Bloody Spear clan, because I feel like the Marked will be watching.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe capitalizing on that and saying, hey, your leaders are defeated, we're here now, we need your assistance. And kind of bring them under the extension of the Bloody Spears, kind of by proxy.
Yeah, I think we are here trying to promote Yendra on one hand, but we're also trying to figure out a way to really unite these clans. under Yndra's control. Because there's no central government of Esmar.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, all of these separate clans. We've kind of started something with the Bloody Spears. If we can get in with the Flame Tongues and say, you've lost a major battle, Yndra's the one who defeated you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you need to call upon Yndra, and we will provide you, the same help we provided the Bloody Spears, and Yndra's where it's at. I think that's an argument we can make.
That feels very right to me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, do we want to set up a journey and make our way towards for the Flame Tongues? It's Frozen Forest is their kind of capital where they make their home. So do we set up a journey to make our way there?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think we would have gone into the forest where it was maybe a little more kind of not as intense of a snowy area. We start going, oh man, this is the extent of where we've traveled before, and now we're going to take this journey to try to get there. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Well, let's undertake a journey. Unfortunately, as weak and unhealthy as we are.
Yeah, so maybe just a dangerous journey or troublesome. Probably just troublesome.
I feel like we should do at least dangerous.
Okay.
We're probably relatively close, but it's terrain we don't know, and we are, kind of trying to stay hidden.
True.
So we can't fly up high to try to, see our way. I think it's more than a troublesome journey.
I agree. Yep. It's too dangerous.
Cool.
So 2 progress per waypoint.
All right. Well, it worked out fairly decently for you to lead the way the last time. So go for it.
Okay. So I'm rolling plus wits. That is a weak hit.
All right.
Good thing we had gotten some supplies.
Yeah. All right. So we reach a waypoint. We mark progress. So mark 2 progress here, but we lose a supply.
Mm-hmm.
3. Do we want to kind of flesh out this waypoint like we were before and see
if
what
we
we
can find
found?
something interesting.
All right. You want to go ahead and roll?
Yep. 28.
28 is a ravine. You want to roll one more time? We'll come up with a descriptor for this.
Sure. 78.
A flooded ravine. That feels like just something that's kind of dangerous. Not that necessarily we need to find something, or really flesh it out a ton, but if we make our way to this flooded ravine and we're not using our wings because we, are trying to stay low and stay out of sight, it seems like something we should probably face danger to try to cross.
Yeah, I mean, we're unfamiliar, and we already said it, we're kind of in this transitionary phase, so to have, where you got this melting of, all this, glacier type stuff coming through, and yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think for Kor's going to try to run and kind of burst his wings out at the last moment and essentially glide across this thing.
Okay. So you're doing a plus edge?
Yeah.
I'd probably try the same thing.
All right. That works. That's a strong hit for Kor. You want me to just kind of roll for both of us, or do you want to roll for yourself and see what happens?
Oh, man. Yeah, I feel like that makes the most sense. We're trying to stay kind of hidden, so I need to roll the same type of thing, which sucks because that's not a very good stat of mine. I rolled good there. Okay. So if I match, that's still not... You gotta surpass it, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so that's a miss.
A miss?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
A miss, you fail. Your progress is undermined by a dramatic and costly turn of events. Am I going for a dip here?
I think Yeah, I would say in this probably supply. Like, Kor makes it to the other side, you start to fall in, and Kor would come after you.
Yeah.
And I think it's not that challenging for, us to make our way out of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we should lose some supply.
Does that feel like enough?
I think so. Our supply is pretty low.
That's true. I don't know if I should lose some spirit with that.
That might make sense. I mean,
it kind of does. I feel like, yeah, not that I'm trying to make things harder, but I'm just trying to think through, like, logistically, like, I think that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose a spirit.
Yeah. I mean, you've now fallen into this freezing water. We're entering into a frozen forest, so you've got kind of that danger there.
Yeah.
But also just, we're in the midst of a pretty harrowing experience of trying to get away from this mark, stay hidden, trying to find our way there, and, failing in this would dampen your spirits, I would assume.
Yeah.
Kor, helps you out, and he says, "Are you okay, Ule?"
I lost some things back there. Whew. This is rough, man. We hopefully we can find this capital area soon.
Yes, I have to admit I didn't think that this was going to be as difficult as it's proving. Your land here on Esmar is much wilder than I expected.
It's pretty harsh, man. I heard stories, but it doesn't really compare to this. But we gotta go on. We've got Yinder. I don't doubt that she's with us, so let's keep going.
Surely would be nice if she'd show it a little more.
Like, looks around, like, waiting for you to be struck by lightning or something. Alright, do you want me to roll on this next part of our journey?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Weak hit.
Okay. So, suffering another supply. We're down to 1.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to have to try to resupply here pretty soon.
Okay. Do you want to see what we reach?
Yeah, let's see what we found.
Okay. 20.
Waterfall.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Look, go ahead and roll one more time. Let's do a description for it.
It could be a frozen waterfall, it's now frozen up. 79.
Empty.
What's an empty waterfall?
I think frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
that makes
empty
sense.
of running water. It's just
Yeah.
like frozen. So maybe we reach to a point where, like, we have to try to climb it.
Yeah. So we get there. I mean, climbing a waterfall when you're someone who can fly, I don't know that we necessarily need to roll
true.
anything that's not that challenging.
Yeah.
But yeah, we probably are following this ravine, and it's freezing as we're going. And eventually we hit this frozen waterfall. At the base of it, Kor says, "Should we continue, or do you think we should try to camp again and see if we can find something to resupply ourselves? We're getting dangerously low."
Yes, pretty rough. Remember books my parents would read? Sometimes there might be maybe a cave behind a waterfall. Should we check? Maybe we could do a little oracle check here and see if we've got a safe place to make camp.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do a 50-50.
51 or greater is a yes.
Yeah.
There you go, 97.
Sweet.
All right, so
I would picture Uli kind of like going up to where you've got this frozen waterfall, and he's like kind of pounds on a little bit and like kind of hearing the like echo behind it. He's like, "Oh, Kor, man, I feel it. There's one here, man." And he starts like, he gets his sword out and kind of takes some swings, starts like hacking at the ice and opens it up.
Kor says, "I'm impressed."
It's like I was meant to be here, just connecting.
It is. This is your place.
Yeah, so he kind of keeps hacking at it, and now we've got a cave back here where we can make camp.
I think you should roll a resupply. I want to see if there's already supplies in here.
Okay.
Like maybe this is
like a waypoint that they would have set up along
yeah,
their
somebody
traveling.
used to use this before it froze over, and it's already got some supplies.
Okay, I'm going for a resupply. That is a strong hit.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, so we get 2 supply back.
Yeah.
So what does that look like when you make your way inside?
Yeah, so we go in. Do we have a way of, like, making light or fire or something?
Oh, I broke our lamp.
Oh, that's right.
We do emit a glow if we, use our kind of marked radiance, with our wings and stuff. So we could use that a little bit. Or maybe we got a new lamp, or we could make torches or something.
Yeah, let's just say we have that. So, yeah, you'd walk in through and kind of, it's a tight space at first, kind of going through behind, and then opens up into a room, and, it's dark enough, our area where we can't see across. So he kind of keeps going in and slowly starts seeing, like, a couple crates, and there's like a cot that's set up in there. So it's, a place where, people would be able to hide and resupply. So open up supplies. There's, grains and dried meats and things. With it being this type of cold climate, there's maybe some smoked fish and things in there that we could eat. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Kor sits down and he kind of takes a deep breath and says, "You did it. I wasn't worried that we were going to die out here, but it was certainly getting uncomfortable."
I clearly remember recently speaking of Yendra and her care for us, and somebody had something to say about that. But hey, look what we found here.
Kor nods and he says, "You know what? You're right. And if you'd like to thank her for this, I'll join you."
All right. So, Ule's kind of like going through stuff, and he's like picking up some of the smoked meats and stuff. And he like kind of takes a bite. He's like chewing on it. Yendra, we just appreciate your bountiful blessings on us in this journey. We ask that you would help us to spread your name, and some information about these other marked would be helpful for us. And you got anything to say there, Kor?
Thank you for your provision.
Hey, that's fantastic, man. Oh man, that's probably like the most he's heard Kor say. All right, he just kind of keeps eating and sits down and relaxes a bit, and we'll make camp here.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully this roll's good. Want me to roll it?
Go for it.
Feels right. It's just a weak hit. Where are we at on my momentum? Nothing to do anything.
That's okay. I mean, a weak hit is still taking one of these.
That's true.
In this, I think Kor is actually going to relax and take a spirit.
I was feeling the exact same way.
I think, we found the supplies. This is Kor was feeling pretty stressed, and in this moment, with Oule kind of having been promoting that this is Yendra's provision, Kor actually feels that, and he kind of allows himself to relax a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, do we want to keep up with undertaking the journey? How far are we on our progress track?
We've only made 2.
Ooh, two progress per waypoint. We made 2 waypoints, so it should be...
Okay, so it should be 4
progress.
Yeah. So we're at 4. Yeah.
Okay. So potentially another waypoint. That feels like pretty risky trying to reach the destination.
Yeah, let's do at least one more.
Okay. That is a... Oh wait, should I... Before I do that... Maybe that'll count for my daily prayers with Yendra. That's to get some momentum. I think I want to do that first to start our day here.
Okay.
So, strong hit. So I'm going to add +2 momentum. Still wouldn't have changed the outcome of my other roll, but at least that kind of gets us started there. So, wait, did I roll for Undertake a Journey yet? My brains.
I don't think you have yet.
Oh, okay. Where did I just roll before that? Oh, that was for making camp, right?
You rolled for making camp. Then we said we were going to do a journey. I think you did roll something.
I did. Yeah, it was a weak hit, right?
Oh, okay.
Was it? Yeah, weak hit.
You didn't say what it was.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad. Weak hit.
Okay. So reach a waypoint, mark progress, but suffer 1 supply. Back down to a 2.
Okay.
We're up to a 6 on our progress.
Okay.
Let's see what we found.
Okay. 60.
A boar. Okay. Let's do a description.
Okay. 92.
Settled. So we find another small settlement.
Okay.
Kind of feels like something we should avoid. So we're making our way through this forest, and it kind of opens up a little bit, and there's a village there. Gonna look at it for a little bit, and just look at each other, and Kor says, I don't think we have the time or the resources to get ourselves into whatever this might entail. We should just make our way around it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, let's just continue.
So we skip it and don't try to resupply or make camp. Okay.
Yep.
So then we're going to go for another part of the progress track here. That's a good roll, though. That's a strong hit.
All right. So then you can either mark progress without a supply loss, or mark progress and take momentum, but then suffer supply. I think we need to keep our supply.
Mm-hmm.
So just marking progress.
Yep. And then roll for the waypoint.
We can, or we can just reach your destination. We're at a +8.
Okay. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah. Roll against our 8 here. Although I keep rolling 9s.
I know, I'm nervous as all get out.
Oh, okay. So that's a match with 2 1s.
Okay.
So it's definitely a strong hit.
Yeah.
And a match.
Look at you.
There you go. So we reach our destination. We can add a +1 to whatever move we do, or we can take momentum. Probably a momentum.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we can both take that.
Yep.
So we reach the, capital city of the Flame Tongue clan. Feels like a pretty good place to end things for the night.
We made it.
We made it. That was, we're making our way through this, but I feel like we just keep, like you said, there's a lot of ups and downs of momentum, not the track, but just the momentum of how this is going, and we win some, we lose some.
Yeah, there's these big swings. It's fun because it makes it interesting, but at the same time, because there's such a wide swing and so many potential negative things that happen, I feel like it kind of extends being able to accomplish big stuff,
Yeah, this rule set is really built around being kind of a wandering hero, so to speak, who takes on little jobs to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not really what we're going for. So we may need to kind of rethink the way we do vows. Because I feel like we've done a lot and we've only gotten to experience.
Yeah.
So
we've been playing for a while.
Yeah. But either way, we made it. We have this opportunity to take the Flame Tongues and turn them from enemies into potentially allies. So hopefully we can capitalize on it.
Yeah, I hope so.